Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we follow up our European triumph with a roundup of the season just gone and the series, unfortunately. Welcome to Making Tottenham Hot Spurs again. Hello and welcome to episode 60 of Making Tottenham Hotspurs again. My name is Mark, and on today's episode we have that end of season review and a look at what transfers may or may not be going on in this close season. But as I said at the top of the episode, this is the end of the series because FM Football Manager 23 is hopefully the beta version some 3 weeks away now when I record this, pretty much the day before you see it. So having said that, obviously what we're going to do, well, not obviously what we're going to do, but what we are going to do is we're going to round up today on the season just gone, and then what we'll do is we're going to come back for 2 or 3 episodes, three episodes, so one on Friday this week, and then Tuesday and Friday next week. We'll have 1 year. What's happened? So we're actually going to resign from the position of manager before it goes into the new season. We'll come back in a year's time, see how they got on, having set the stone in place for Tottenham to be a hot Spurs again. See how they get on, and then we'll come back in 5 years and in 10 years to see how they've got on. Those episodes will be out next week if you're interested, and then a little bit of off the gas as we head down to FM23, and I'll be telling you very, very shortly what we will be or who we will be managing in our first save in FM23. Having said all of that, if you haven't seen the past few episodes, then please go back and watch them. Don't forget, if you can leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. It all helps here on YouTube, especially with the new release coming up down the track very, very shortly. So our end of season finished winning the Premier League, winning the FA Cup final 3-1 against Manchester City, despite that man, Erling Haaland, and then beating Arsenal 2-1 in the Europa League final to round off our season. 4 trophies. We won the Carabao Cup, we won the Premier League, we won the FA Cup, and we won the Europa League. I think we have made Tottenham hot Spurs again, without any shadow of a doubt. Right. Having told you all of that, let's have a very quick look at the Premier League table, as we tend to do in these particular end of season reviews. We'll have the end of season review in just a moment or 3, but I always like to have a look at the Premier League table, see how our season panned out, if you like. As you will see, top of the table, 96 points in the end, 118 goals, 33 goals against. Manchester United were in second on 88 points, some 8 points adrift of us. Liverpool were third on 81. Manchester City 4th on 75. They are the Champions League spots, and then the Europa League goes to Chelsea on 70 points, Arsenal on 69 points in 6th place. Leicester managed to get into the Europa Conference League with 64 points. Everton just outside of the European places on 57. And relegated from the Premier League this season, Brentford, Crystal Palace and Wolves, who are coming up, though. Coming up, if we have a quick look, you can see that Ipswich Town are playing Burnley. So we don't really know who's coming up out of that, Burnley or Ipswich Town, as it stands at the moment. But Watford and Middlesbrough are the automatic promotion people. Burnley just missing out by 2 points right at the end of the season there. Fulham missing out in 4th. Also got knocked out of the playoffs as well. Right, let's go back up to the Premier League then. We do a little bit more detail. As you know, we start off with, first of all, the home record. We were top of the pops for the home record as well, pretty much. It was only Arsenal who had a better home record, really. They finished 6th, but had the 4th best home record. We had the best home record, 55 points from 19 games. We won 18 of those, drew only 1. So we only had dropped 2 points in that for home season. 69 goals for, 16 against, as I say, 55 points. So that's how our home record was. Next best, Manchester United on 52, Liverpool on 47, and as we've already mentioned, Arsenal on 43. Our away record, it was nearly as good. We lost 2 games in the away season, one at Arsenal, a 1-0 loss, and a 3-0 by Leicester City. How did that happen? Our form away from home, as you will see in the closing stages, 1-3, drawn 2 in the run-in. 49 goals for, 17 against, 32 goals difference, 41 points. Next best, Manchester United on 36. So this probably pretty much stacks up as we finished the season, and pretty much in the order that we finished the season. First half of the season, we were top, 48 points, 1 point clear of Manchester United after 19 games. Then came Liverpool on 43. Arsenal dropped away a little bit because they were 4th halfway through its point of the season, 36 points. Then Chelsea, Manchester City, who had a really horrible start to the season, picking up a bit of momentum on 32, and then came Everton a little way down from them. So first half of the season, 1-5, drawn 3. That 1 loss, I think, against Arsenal. Is it going to let me see it? I think it is. 56-4, 13 against, 43 goal difference, 48 points, as we've already said. Second half of the season, pretty much the same story. 48 points picked up from the second half of the season. Just that 1 loss, 15-4, 15-1, 13 drawn. Sorry, 3 drawn, 62-4, 20 against. Goal difference of 42. So all in all, scored more goals in the second half of the season, and didn't concede quite as it conceded a few more as well, but 48 points in both half of the season. Manchester City having a good second half of the season, 43 points they picked up in that second half of the season. Manchester United 41, Liverpool 38. As you'll see, this is why Arsenal dropped away. They only picked up 33 points in that second half of the season. Not that they lost a lot, but they seemed to draw more than they lost. Last 5 games, which was the run-in, we won 4, drew the last one against Manchester City, of course. 19-4, 6 against. Leicester having a decent run-in as well. They only lost 1 game out of their last 5, 12 points they picked up. Brighton also picking up 12 points, and Arsenal picking up 10 points. So they had a bit of a rally at the end of the season there. And I will leave you to see the rest of the sides. The media prediction then. Media prediction had us 4th, finished 1st. Manchester United, they had 2nd, finished 2nd. Liverpool 3rd, and finished 3rd. Manchester City, they expected to win, but only finished 4th. I think it was because of that poor start to the season, you know. Arsenal were expected to finish 6th and finished 6th, and then a little cluster of teams doing better than the media prediction. Leicester finishing 7th when they were expected to finish 8th. Everton finishing 8th when expected to finish 14th. And Aston Villa 9th when expected to finish 12th. Going down, Brentford did a little bit better than they thought, but still went down. Crystal Palace finished 19th and really were expected to finish 11th. And Wolves expected to manage to scrape through, but didn't. Who was it then? West Brom also expected to go down and didn't. I think Bournemouth were candidates for going down as well. They stayed up in 14th place. So that's how the season panned out. Let's go back to the overalls. As you will see, I think it's high time to have that review of the season. And as you will see, this is the end of season review. And the trophies that we won: the Premier League, the Europa League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. That's our trophy cabinet for this season. Very good as well. Always start with the new arrivals. Tammy Abraham, top of the pops, £75 million from Roma. Tammy Abraham making 24 appearances, 38 as substitute, 36 goals scored, 11 assists. That's 47 goals he provided, 4.5 throughout the season. Kingsley Coman, steal at 47.5 million from Paris Saint-Germain, made 55 appearances, 2 as substitute, 26 goals, 31 assists. That's a huge amount of assists. 57 goals he contributed this season. That is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Ball pleased with the amount of playing time Kingsley Coman's seen since joining the club, I'm sure. With that amount of assists, you can hardly leave him out, can you? Mazulia from Bayern Munich, another steal at 84 million. He had a good time, 33 appearances. Bearing in mind he only came in January, 33 appearances. 1 as substitute, 15 goals, 10 assists. That's another 25 goals, 7.44. I didn't say that Kingsley Coman's average rating was 7.44. And Theo Hernandez coming from Milan, £80 million, 46 appearances, 1 from the bench, 2 goals, 10 assists. That's 12. He contributed a 7.23. Outgoings, we had quite a few outgoings. Nobody really performed particularly well where they went. That is for sure. Jack Clark, the top performer, 7.03, went to Luton, 35 appearances, 11 from the bench, 12 goals, 5 assists. Eric Dyer went to Monaco for 5.25 million, had 1 appearance from the bench, 6.80. Is he still there? He is. But he's not played, has he? He's really not played at all. Marcel Lavinia went to Leyton Orient, 41 appearances at 6.80. Matherin to Bournemouth, 6.72. Cameron Clark because Josiah Linton, Riley Owen, Luca Gunter. I'll leave you to look at all these players that have gone out because there's nobody really there that stands out. So I don't think anybody's gone away and done anything remotely fantastic, which has then left us in a bit of a lurch, so to speak. Obviously, lots of players going out on loan. Obviously, the board not happy about Oliver Skipp. Ryan Sessegnon they're okay with. Harry White, Matty Richards, Troy Parrott, Dorrington. Some of these players, Dorrington possibly may come through the ranks this season. We'll be looking to bring him on. Jamie Donnelly, I think he's another one earmarked, as is Alfie Devine, top of the pops here. Oh, in fact, I hadn't pulled it down. I do apologise. Alfie Devine, 7.63 he did at Sheffield United, getting himself ready to make his debut for Tottenham. That's for sure. Season to remember it was. We won the table. We've had a look at the table. Board are delighted. 62,303 was the average attendance. Tammy Abraham with the most goals on 22. Board expectation, reached the final of the Europa League. We won that one. Min Son, top scorer on 11 goals. The board happy with that. 2-1 win, of course, in the end. And there's a list of the teams that we played. Lost a couple of games along the way. A 2-1 loss to Benfica, but managed to pull it back in the second leg. And the same with Barcelona 2-1 loss in the first leg, but actually thrashed them at home in the second leg of that semi-final, which put us in the final with Arsenal. The Emirates FA Cup reached the final the board expected. We won it. Tammy Abraham and Kingsley Coman, 4 goals each. Board delighted. And our route was Crystal Palace 6-0, Bolton Wanderers 4-0, Bristol City 5-0, Bournemouth 1-0, Arsenal 3-1 in the semi-final, and then a 3-1 against Manchester City in the final. And, of course, our first bit of silverware came by virtue of the Carabao Cup. Harry Kane getting 10 goals in that before he was injured, I think. 6-0 win against Peterborough, 4-1 against Bournemouth, 5-0 against Crystal Palace, a comprehensive 13-1 on aggregate against Hull City in the semi-final, 6-1 and 7-0. And, of course, a 2-0 win against Arsenal in the final. Our biggest win of the season was against FK Sarajevo, 11-0 win in that one. Hat-trick from Koeman, contributing to that as well. Match to remember was the 6-1 win against Wolves. Goals from Ali, Holzberg, Abraham, Upamecano, Koeman, Lo Celso. A goal of the season, it came from Holzberg on the 87th minute. Scored with a curling shot from 23 metres. We'll have to have a look at that. Against Rapid Vienna back in October. Full match details not available, which means that we can't see the excuse me, can't see the goal of the season. Finances, club reputation stays unchanged. No new sponsorship deals. Most notable deal is no new sponsorship deal. 145 million we made this year against 139 million last year. That's from sponsorship. Our broadcast revenue was down very slightly, and that was despite winning all the competitions, which seems a bit weird. Corporate hospitality up slightly. Competition prize money up dramatically, of course. Oh, no, in fact, it was down 65.5 million. Last season, we had 117 million. Somebody explain that one to me, how we've won 4 competitions, yet our competition prize money has gone down. How does that work? Match day commercial, 3.89 million against 3.55 million. Total merchandise sales, 27.14 million, of which domestic was 11.66 million. 437,492 shirts sold. Son top of the pops. Kane, Koeman, Lo Celso and Mazzulia also were popular in shirt sales. The Tottenham best 11, Castile's in goal, Hernandez, Sewell, Upamecano and Emerson Royal, our defensive line. Holzberg and Lo Celso in front of them. Son, Mazzulia, Koeman and Abraham, who takes up the place of Harry Kane. But, of course, Harry Kane spending quite a bit of time injured throughout the season. So that's how we arrived. It's nice to see that everybody in that team, that best 11, have all accomplished a better than a 7 on the average ratings. Accolades, manager of the month for October and manager of the year for this one. That was me. Club awards, Lo Celso was fans player of the season. The young player of the season was Jamal Mazzulia. Signing of the season, Tammy Abraham. Pierre-Emile Holzberg, goal of the season, which we will try and see in a minute. Harry Kane, top goal scorer with 40 goals for the season. How did he manage that? Lo Celso, 34 assists, absolutely phenomenal. Tammy Abraham, player of the match, 8. Lo Celso, average rating, best average rating, 7.8. And Upamecano, passes completed in 90 minutes, 72. Competition awards, Lo Celso won the Euro Cup player of the season. Min Son, the Asian footballer of the year, and the Euro Cup golden boot going to Min Son. Also, So he did extremely well. Doesn't say how many goals he got, but record breakers, most goals by a player in a match was Tammy Abraham, who scored 5. Most goals by a player in a league match, 5. Lacelso was most assists by a player in a season, 34. Castiles, most clean sheets by a player in a season, 29. And Harry Kane, the most league goals by a player, 222 is his total now. That's how many goals he has scored for Tottenham. The spell at the start of the season was the making of Tottenham. It really set them up for success. Bill Wilde from 4-4-2, the Cups, which we already know about. And once Tottenham got rolling early in the season, it looked hard to stop them going on to this success. That was from Ryan Walker in The Sporting Life. A good season it was too. Right, we are going to do all the things that we usually do. If I could just find the right things. What we're going to do is we're going to hop forward. We're going to do all the end of season team meetings and club visions and all the rest of it. And then we're going to jump forward. We're going to come back on July the 1st just to see what's happening in the transfer market. Well, you come back on the 1st of July and not a lot has been happening, to be fair. It's been a little bit demoralising, really. We haven't actually done any business coming in. We're after a goalkeeper, if not to come in over Castiles or to come in as a second in command that potentially will step up into Castiles' shoes. And we're having great difficulty. It seems to be a shortage of semi-decent goalkeepers. There seems to be two ends to it. They're either cheap and not particularly good, or they're really expensive and obviously elite goalkeepers. But, you know, do we really need... Castiles is good. So we need somebody of a similar sort of ilk to Castiles that has perhaps a bit younger, that will produce into a goalkeeper that will be as good as, if not better, than Castiles. Let's face it, 29 clean sheets this season. He hasn't done a bad job. Going out, the only going out so far, Billy Heaps has gone to Aston Villa for £500,000. He's gone out permanently. So we've said goodbye to him. And Craig Hill has gone to Chesterfield on loan. So that is the sum total of it. The other thing that has happened is we have had the fixture list for the coming season. As I say, we're not going to go through this coming season. Well, we will, but we'll do it in a slightly different way, and we'll come back in a future episode for a one-off. I was going to do it on the next episode, but actually I'll explain what my thinking is, and then we'll go to the skip that 1 year ahead. We won't actually do the Premier League season and all the European Cups and all the rest of it. What we're going to do is, I'll go through the fixture list in a minute, but what we're going to do is you'll see FA Community Shield against Manchester United, and also an UEFA Super Cup, because Liverpool won the Champions League. We won the Europa League. The two of the teams meet in the UEFA Super League, which is the best team in Europe. It's against Liverpool. We're going to come back for one last episode. Excuse me. One last episode. And we're going to feature in that episode Manchester United and Liverpool. The Community Shield and the UEFA Super Cup will be the final episode, final game episode. That will come out on Friday. And then Tuesday and Friday next week will be your 1 year and your 5 year. And then we'll have one final episode to wrap up 10 years down the line. How did Tottenham do after we left them is basically where we're going. So we will be in situ until about the 15th of August. We will manage through to these two teams here. And then we will step down from our position here at Tottenham Hotspur, and we will put it into holiday mode and see what sort of season they have. What we might do is we might work out where the Champions League final is due to be, and what I might do is stall it just before the Champions League final in case they get there. If they do, we'll come back and see that Champions League game in in that wrap-up for that year. Right, anyway, that's all to do. That's what's going to come down the line. That's what I've decided. What we're going to do now is we're going to jump forward pretty much to the start of the season. And what we're going to do, actually it won't be the start of the season because I haven't got quite that far. It will be around about the start of August, as it turns out, just before the friendly against Ajax and the Harry Kane testimonial against Barcelona. That sounds a humdinger of a match as well. We'll come back just before those two, see if there's been any transfer activity, and just confirm what's coming up in the next episode. And yes, the start of the season roundup, or sort of an update. 3rd of August is the date. In this one, we're just before that Ajax game. We've had a few more players leave us as the players start to hemorrhage out of the club. Harry Winks has gone to Lyon on a free. Andre Silva has gone to Shakhtar for 26.5 million. I think we'd already had that one set up, actually. It was he was due to leave. We'd already done the deal. So he's gone to Shakhtar for 26.5 million. Dante Casanova has gone to Burnley on a freebie. Ryan Sessegnon has gone to Norwich, also on a freebie. And Jezreel Davis has gone to Wolves, also on a freebie. Nobody still coming in. It's been a bit disappointing. We're still having trouble with that goalkeeper. And things not quite going as they are supposed to be. The only thing we have got in the pipeline, we're just waiting on him making a decision, is Gabriel Jesus, a 27-year-old. We know all about him. Striker come winger. They can play in any of those front positions there. So we'll work in with Son and Kane and Koeman for those positions. Can play in there. So he is under contract discussions with us. Daniel Levy has been doing the work on that. So that's where we are financially. He says financially, we still have 79 million in the pot. That won't be if we use that 51 million. We are a little bit overspent on wages, but depending on what we do, we might be able to tweak that down a little bit with what's up there. The one thing we didn't touch on through this review is the club vision. We have playing attacking football, play possession football, develop players using the club's youth system, satisfied but not fantastic. We've got a couple of players, as I've already mentioned, that will be coming through, Alfie Devine being one of them. Play entertaining football, very pleased with that. Play high tempo, delighted. Do not sign players over the age of 30. I don't think we have done. Make the most of set pieces. Maybe we need to do some tweaks to that, or we would if we were staying here. The 5-year plan is work within the wage budget, which at the moment is on course. Minimum 4-year contracts for all first-team players. Develop the best youth system in the country. Best youth system in the world. And increase commercial revenue, which we've there or thereabouts. For the end of the current season, he's reached the semi-finals of the Champions League. Super Cup is not important, but we'll have a crack at it. Qualify for the Champions League, so that's top 4 finish basically in the Premier League. FA Cup, they want us to reach the final. EFL is the Caribou Cup, not really bothered. And not really bothered about the Community Shield either. And by the end of 25-26, they want us to win the Premier League. We've already done it! Already done it! So that's where we are at with all that. As I said, coming through, I think we have Alfie Devine being one of the players that we've got potentially to be coming through. He is looking quite good. Troy Parrott, he's possible. Probably not quite so. In fact, let's go on the old potential. That'll sort it out. Jason Dady, he's one to look out for. He's currently only 16 years old, but he's got potential for here. So he may well come through at part. Dane Scarlett, he's a striker. He is 20 years old. He's only a 2-star, but has got the potential to be 4. So we need to be bringing him on this year. Alfie Devine, as we've already mentioned, when you look at the stuff on potential, he's really potentially going to be better than Jamal Mazulia. He also got Samuel Edmonds. He's only a 1.5 star currently. He was only 16, mind you. So one there to bring through possibly. Rob Edwards, he's a goalkeeper. Maybe we don't need to replace Casteels. You know, when you look at potential, he has more potential than Casteels. So maybe we don't need to bring in anybody, or maybe we do in the short term, but then look at bringing Rob Edwards on to come through as a possible replacement for both those. And then we got Jamie Donnelly. He's another striker, currently 1.5 stars, but has the potential to be a 3/4 star. And Kieran Colbert, Buckler, Huarana, Matty Richards, who's gone out on loan or wants to go out on loan. They are players that currently are not starring up, but I think when we get down in the diggy giggy, I think they will do. Because Cohen Casteels really is only a 2.5 star at best potential ability. He's 32 now. Really need to be looking to bring somebody in. That is our key component. We'll see when we come back for those 2 games at the start of the season. Manchester United in the Charity Shield and Liverpool in the UEFA. I've showed me age there, haven't I? Charity Shield, Community Shield and the UEFA Super Cup. We'll see if we've actually achieved our target of bringing in a goalkeeper or not. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button to keep you up to date with the future episodes of this series and our other 2 series that's going out at the moment, and what's going to happen in FM23. Wait for the big news. We're going to, we're probably about a week or so before we'll tell you what we are going to do in our first save when FM23 is released. Just literally, I reckon, 3 weeks away right now. New episodes of Making Tottenham Hotspurs again are at the moment released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. And if you want to keep up to date what's happening on this channel and more, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. You need to do it. It is important because otherwise you won't know what's going to be doing in FM23. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 61. It's going to feature the FA Community Shield against Manchester United and that Super Cup, UEFA Super Cup against Liverpool. Can we win? We'll see. And then we're going to resign. Till next time, goodbye.